years and counting. This is Okanagan Sun Football with Ryan Waters.
The Okanagan Sun will open their 30th anniversary season on the road in Kamloops on Saturday night. For the first time in the last 3 seasons, the Sun will have a new quarterback under the center after the graduation of Derek Mann, who led most BCFC passing categories this past year. Bobby Davis is the scheduled starter for Week 1, and head coach Pete McCall tells us what they worked on during the week of practice before the season opener.
Just getting everything in, we scouted them based on last year, and so we've game prepped to go in there and execute the game plan that we have against a team like Kamloops.
What do you know about the Broncos, just judging by last year?
It's a tough one because they're going to be different than they were last year. But we'd run their plays in practice, and we give them a defensive look. We give them their defense in practice, and so we try to simulate as much as we can what we'll see this weekend. But because it's the first game of the year, you never really know.
Are practices the first game always different, other than the practices during the year, just because it is the first game?
Oh yeah. I was just saying earlier that there's definitely a little bit more tension in the clubhouse and a little bit more tension out on the field there. And people's backs are up now that they realize where they are on the depth chart and maybe not where they thought they were. So you're seeing, it's not quite so friendly out there, a little more persnickety, I guess you might say. And guys are, they want to be that guy out there, and so they're being a little bit more aggressive in practice. You're seeing guys really amping it up a little bit. So it's getting more competitive every day.
One of the guys that has to amp it up is the starting quarterback Bobby Davis this year. Is he a threat to throw as much as he has to run?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's he's going to want to throw first, but he is the kind of guy that when things aren't looking good out there, he can tuck it in and run it himself.
You start the season on the road like you did last year. Do you prefer that?
Yeah. Well, this one's better. It's a couple hours to Kamloops and not 14 hours to Victoria. Get off the bus and play. So this is a nice way for us to start, to go on a little 2-hour voyage up there and then play on a Saturday night there. So yeah, we're looking forward to this one.
Without an exhibition game, other than wanting to win the game, what are the goals for you coming into this game?
Just go out there and execute on it. It's early on, but you want to make sure that everything's working and take a look at some things. If things go well, we'll be able to look at the bench and get that first win for the year.
Who are some of the guys that have kind of opened your eyes this year and you thought, wow, that's different?
Oh, that's a good question. I always hate singling people out, but we're really impressed with Drew DeGoo, who was an offensive tackle that we got from Saskatchewan, from Saskatoon, and the defensive line has just been phenomenal. In the middle there with Grado and Keating, and then with the Law and Dogie on the outside, it's just a fantastic 4 defensive linemen. And so we're excited to see what they're going to do. I know that Kamloops got some young quarterbacks, and so I don't know if that'd be the first group that I'd want to go up against, being a new guy in the league.
Daylon Pommier is a 4th-year player who will make the switch from defensive back to safety, and he tells us how this season compares to the previous 3.
This year has definitely been more of a team journey from this point since training camp has started. I mean, there's a real cohesive bond between all players on the team, and it just... more positive attitude. There is no individuals on this team. We're all going for one goal, and that's to win a national championship. And we're all buying in, and we all buy into how much work it takes to do that. And with the coach like Pete McCall, it's definitely going to be hard-nosed practice, but that's the way it has to be if you ever want to shoot for success as a national championship.
You moved from defensive back to safety to fill the hole of Paul Spencer after he graduated. How comfortable are you now, and was it a good move for you? I'm
definitely comfortable for the move. I actually played a full season at safety my 2nd year with the Sun, and now this being my 4th, so I've taken some plays from safety. I'm comfortable with it. I mean, personally, I think that's where I fit the best on the team. I think that's where the team can utilize my attributes the best. But filling the shoes of Paul Spencer is no easy task, and it's not even about that. It's just about doing what I have to do to help the team. I mean, the past is the past, and Paul was a great player, and we only wish him luck, but it's 2010 now, and it's just about how the defense works as a unit, no individuals at all.
What have you noticed the coaching staff concentrating on this year in training camp and the first few practices before game 1?
Just repetition and fundamentals. I mean, Pete has always been someone about fundamentals, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff you need to do before the snap of the ball even happens. Your pre-snap reads, your alignment, your assignment, anything like that. And I mean, if you're not doing that before the snap of the ball even happens, you're already a step behind when the ball is snapped. A lot of pre-snap stuff and just your fundamentals as a football player. If you don't know the first, 5-6 things you're supposed to do out of the gates, you're going to be lost out there against a guy who does. So it's just knowing the basic football and just doing your best at it, and repetition is the key.
It is game 1. You haven't played a game. You haven't seen any film on Kamloops this year. How have you and how have the team prepared for the Broncos?
We've just prepared as I mean, obviously we've played Kamloops before, but every year teams change and we don't know who they are or what they have. And I mean, till the whistle blows, we're not going to know. So all we can do, the only thing we can bet on is preparing ourselves as best as we can to just play your best, play your hardest, and no mental mistakes. We're just going into it just as a team, not really worrying about what they're going to do, what formations they're going to play, because we honestly don't know. So it's just, go out there, play hard, do your assignment, get your alignment right, your mentals right, and just do your best.
Who have you noticed on the defensive side of the ball that has kind of stood out in your mind?
Matt Grotto. He has come to us from university football. He's a local Okanagan product, but he has definitely come back. And I knew Matt before he left for school. I always knew him. He was a big, strong, smart football player. And he just went to the CIS and came back even smarter and stronger. And he's been one who really is going to fill those gaps on the D-line. Our whole D-line itself, though, is amazing. And, I mean, our D-backs and linebackers, everywhere on the defense is very solid. I mean, there is openings everywhere for guys to show their things, but that's almost good, right? Like, you're going to get the best out of a guy when the competition is on the line for that spot. But, I mean, Matt Grotto, I could say Tyler Robson, too, at the linebacker spot. At Sam linebacker, he's a quick guy, big, quick guy. I think there's a lot in store for him, too, this year.
The Kamloops Broncos made some excellent headway in the offseason, recruiting players in Alberta and Saskatchewan for the first time. In 2009, they finished 2-8 and are looking to improve this season with their new recruits. Head coach Rob Ellis is anxious to see what his new players can do and reviews what they worked on this week.
Well, we've done everything we've done in the past as far as getting ready for a game. We've reviewed past film and scripted our plays. We've kept it a lot more simple than we usually do, just for the fact that we have a lot of young players on offense. So we're going to try and make as little mistakes as we can on the field and see if we can capitalize on any opportunities we can get from the sun.
Those young players are a couple quarterbacks you have in camp for the first time this year. How have they adjusted, do you think, to the BCFC League?
Well, Justin Neufeld, who'll be starting the game on Saturday, Canadian football in Edmonton for a long time, whereas Dylan Lapierre has played the American game at the high school. So I think they'll be a little surprised with the quickness of the game. Jesse's adjusted very well. He's very good at reading coverages, and so that's his biggest strength. But at the same time, they're both very inexperienced, and we need to bring them along very slowly so that they have some success on the field.
Quite a few returners to the defensive side of the ball. Are they gelling together?
Oh, they're excited. Yeah, they've worked their butts off in the off season trying to prepare for this season. They know a lot of the veterans. And obviously, this is the last year at junior football, and they want to go out with a bang. So they've worked very hard in the off season, and they've gelled for the 3 weeks that we've had it for our preseason, getting ready for this game.
Do you like starting at home?
It's a mixed blessing. You know what? Last year we were on the road and we had to open up against the Raiders, and this year we're at home against the Sun. It doesn't matter to us. I mean, BCFC is quality football teams, and we're going to face a strong contender for the championship, no matter who we play. So it's a good test for us to start against the Sun. They're always well coached and they're always a strong team. So it'll be a good indicator of how well we've done in the offseason preparing.
The Sun and Broncos kick off Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Catch the play-by-play on AM 1150, beginning with the kickoff show at 6:45. Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.